Welcome everybody. Let's talk about the stock market. These are the S&P 500 futures. So we're going to look at the weekly, the daily, and the trade of the day. Today is October 2nd, 2023. It is a Monday. But we'll look at the weekly chart here first. And look at this chart, guys. Guys and gals, look at this. Oh yeah. Look at that. Woohoo. Okay, a lot of downward pressure on the weekly. And I was talking about last week, was this going to bounce off this red line? Well, guess what? It has not. Right, look at these other two times here. Here and here they bounced. This didn't. It broke through the the bottom red line here. That's a pretty big deal. Okay, that's telling us it's probably going to run a little bit deeper now. It might do one of these deals. All right, but this looks like this wants to roll over pretty hard. This could last longer than... I mean, it's not that we won't get a bounce maybe up in here. Could stay down in here for a while, get a bounce. We'll have to see how this plays out. But this may get, too early to tell for sure. But this may get worse than what people think. Okay, don't forget about this cycle low right here, week of August 29th. I do think that's going to be a pretty decent, fairly significant price decline coming into this cycle low for August 29th. Now remember what we're looking at here. We're looking at the weekly chart. It looks like it's really struggling. It looks like there's more decline coming. Okay, so let's switch to the daily. Right, so here is the daily. Let's see, I think maybe because the September 28th is down there at the bottom. Yeah. So this was the September 28th cycle low right here, right? This cycle low was right here. Now look what's happened here. This is just consolidating down here. Remember I talked about that a few days ago. I think I talked about it back over here. I said we might just get a consolidation. We might not get this big bounce. And guess what? So far we have not gotten a big bounce, right? We had this one day right here, came up and touched the 43.68, but that's it. Since then it's just been tracking sideways. Okay. And we're not, this is still kind of rising phase here. So there could be more in this. It could still bounce up into here, get above this 4368. That is possible. All right. But there's only 14 trading days left before we get to, let's see, October 17th, I think is the end of this yellow cycle. October 17th, yeah. So this cycle right here, this one coming down right here, that's October 17th. And then this one over here is the 23rd, and then the big purple one's the 25th. So guess what? It's only 14 days left till we hit this first cycle low here of the three that are all kind of together. So there could be more price bounce here, but at the moment it's just tracking sideways. And that's so far pretty telling. Right, let me look at this one over here. It bounced pretty hard, had a little bit of a pullback and bounced again. That has not happened. It had a little tiny nothing. You can't even barely call that a bounce right there. And now it's just tracking sideways. If it stays like that, especially guys, and now listen to me very carefully here. If it stays below 43.68, which I'm not saying it's going to do that because there's quite, we've got, like I said, we got 2 weeks to go here. But if it stays below this 43.68, like over the next week or two, oh my gosh, forget about it. It's going to be bombs away. That's going to be a huge decline. Okay, if it gets up into this area, but stays below 44.11, that's still, not a huge bounce. And the decline, I think, will still be pretty big. And I do think we'll easily get below this 42.62. And if I pull this back up here, there's a 41.14 down there. That number right there could definitely be reached. So just so far, and it's still early days, but this is not a sign of strength. Not at all. Now, this still could be very much just a bottoming phase we're seeing here, and then we still get the bounce. So just be a little patient to see where this goes. But as of right now, this little green cycle right here does not look strong to me yet. Okay, looks pretty weak. And if it stays that way, that's going to be get ready for a big decline. All right, so let's look at the trade of the day. All right, here we are. And the one I really want to talk about is this one right here at 10:20 a.m. Texas time. Now, admittedly, this was pretty choppy morning. A lot of chop here, right? Look at all this choppy chop. There actually might be a trade like early overnight. I think there was. Yeah. If you want to know the real truth, the best trade was this one over here at a little after 2 a.m. That's the trade. Oh, yeah. Very nice. Okay, overnight trading session. This is where the big money was made. Most people are sleeping, but I'm just going to say it like it is. If you're up, you want to be looking for these opportunities. Even this one was still good. Still good. Okay, intraday isn't always the best way to go, guys. I'm not saying every night's going to be great like this, but some of them are. And this was an overnight session, much easier to trade. So much easier to trade than this hot mess right here. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the trade that happened intraday. This one right here at 10:20. That was a nice trade. Right there, right at the top of this peak. You wait for it to roll over. MACD did its little rollover as well. That's the trade right there. Somewhere it starts probably right in this area. You start taking the trade and all the way down to there. So you're looking at 10, 20, maybe 15 solid points. You might squeeze out 17 or 18 out of this little run right here. Really nice for intraday. Had to be super patient because look at all these alerts. You can't just grab the nearest alert and run with it, right? You have to have a sense for what's going on. See, I don't trade this stuff. When I see this kind of chalk right here, you know, this is all like the beginning of the first hour or two of the day. When I see that kind of mess, I just don't touch it. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth trading. That's just a big hot mess. There's buyers and sellers coming and going. Oh, forget about it. Why even deal with it? Right? This is the trade you want to be making. Right there. Okay, this wasn't a bad trade late in the day here either. Just before, this was like 2:45, 15 minutes before the close. It wasn't a bad trade. I mean, it happened right here. Okay, MACD was pretty strong. Look at that. By the time this happened, the MACD was nice and strong, making its way up with a big old gap. So you could take this trade right here. That's probably 7, 10, 11 points. So even if you didn't want to deal with all this junk, you could still make some profit over here at the very end of the day. Okay, so there were 3 opportunities starting from the overnight session, a little something here in the kind of, you know, early to mid-morning, and then something really late in the day. But all of them, the overnight session was the one to really catch because that was the big money right there. Okay, that's the trade of the day. If you want to become a member, use the link in the description below this video. Make sure you read it very carefully and follow the instructions so you don't have any problems joining. You get this chart right here, which is a streaming chart that's on the Discord server for the members. The 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 1-hour charts are streamed every day, 5 days a week. You get a nightly email. My opinion about the stock market every night. You get in that email, you get a chart of the S&P 500 attached to it. So really nice. And there are other channels, alert channels on that Discord server that are super nice. There's crude oil on there. There's gold on there. There's a top 30 stocks for the S&P 500. The NASDAQ is on there. Okay, these type of alert Get Us Plus indicators that come up here during the day like this, even overnight session, those end up being alerts sent to the Discord server. So there's a channel for that as well. So the Discord servers where all the membership services take place, really, really nice. $7.99. I honestly believe, and I mean this sincerely, if you're just patient and don't get in a big hurry and learn how to use the service, the membership's going to pay for itself. Okay, that's dirt cheap, $7.99. If you're interested, come on over and join. Okay, happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. Talk to you all real soon again next time.